Hari Om. We all know the sixth chapter is also given the name of Atma Sanyamana, Dhyana Yoga, etc. And well before getting into the nitty-gritties of the subject, the opening two shloka has put us into good amount of thinking about meditation. We have all heard about the meditation. We have come to the conclusion that meditation requires single pointedness of the mind. Both these statements are absolutely true. But the fact remains that Gurudeva did the meditation, and so the Munis and Rishis of yesteryear, Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, everybody did the meditation. I have also been asked to do the meditation. The question is, what is meditation? And what is the difference in the meditative practice or the meditation done by a person of Swami Vivekananda's stature? And what is the level of meditation when I go for meditation? Now, one needs to understand, if single pointedness of thought is the ultimate aim and objective, it means to do away with all other thoughts. Sarveshu vichareshu pratisrujya. Sarveshu vichareshu except one. The aim is to completely get away with the thoughts. But since that is not possible, because the moment all the thoughts are gone, meditation is over. Because absence of thoughts means suicide of mind. When mind doesn't exist, there is no role for meditation. Conversely, meditation is a process of annihilation of the mind, which is the aim or the goal. So much for the lofty and the bigger thoughts of meditation. Our question is, Vivekananda is a realized soul, Swamiji was a realized soul, so they were doing meditation of higher type, but I am not. So, is it that the Bhagavad Gita has prescribed wrongly the meditation for me, which is supposed to be for them? Meaning thereby somebody who has reached a particular stage of unfolding of consciousness? Or is meditation open for everyone? The principle of meditation is open for everyone. However, the pratala or the level of meditation differs from person to person depending upon his or her sattva guna content. What is the meaning of this statement? The meaning is, if my mind is plagued with umpteen number of thoughts, and it is, how is it that suddenly in the morning I get up for only 10 minutes and I want now my mind to get away with all the thoughts? Is it possible? Is that possible at all? The whole house is on fire, and I went into some corner saying that now there will be no fire. Is it possible? It is impossible. Then what do I do? The two aspects in meditation is, you do prepare for meditation and you do meditation. These are two distinct and different aspects. If meditation is single thought, in the mind, then first I should see in my transactional world, my day-to-day life, how much concentration I am achieving. To take the example, am I able to read Sanskrit properly when I am studying Bhagavad Gita, or I am just glossing over it thinking that it is not important? Gurudeva's English is enough. What do I do with the Sanskrit? That is because the tamoguna in me does not let me undertake any arduous activity. In the office, my mind is always inclined to bypass a lot of things which are little painful. We're talking of everybody's experience, a daily experience. How many times in a day we procrastinate? This I will do next week. From 1st of January, I will do that. All this is indicator of the sloth or the laziness that is inbuilt upon us, which itself talks about lack of mind's preparation for higher elevations. So a person who is given to tamo and rajoguna, what is the example of rajoguna in our life? The rajoguna is moment Sunday or holiday comes. A day before the holiday itself, the thought starts, where do we go, what do we do, what will we eat, whom will we meet, let us have a party, let us do this. This is a rajoguna of the mind. Tumultuous activities happening in the thought form, some of which are implemented in the action, depending upon the scope of time and money. Now, when sattva is minimal and rajatama is dominating, then suddenly such a person coming and sitting for meditation and expecting nididhyasana, which is the sattoguna activity, is not possible. A boy who is not studying at all at his home wants to go to the school for the exam and wants to ace the exam. He cannot. Does that mean he should not go to the school? No, he should go to the school. But first thing first, in the daily life, unless we have put ourselves into some kind of discipline, that means discipline itself is sattva guna. What time do I get up? It depends. Sometimes 9, sometimes 8. If it is Sunday, then around 8 o'clock or so, you are given yourself to the bodily comforts. Sir, if this is the situation, such a person doesn't have a strong mind. Meditation requires a disciplined, single-pointed, strong mind. If the mind is riding upon you, then your chances of you asking mind to meditate are very less. So what do? We first strategize our daily life and discipline it in a proper manner. I shall go to the bed at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. Those 2 serials after 9 o'clock do not make or mar our life. Getting tempted by the subjects around us and overcoming that temptation is the first step by which we can start strengthening our mind, because a strong mind is an essential prerequisite for meditation. Another important tool that can be used before going for meditation is to meditate upon our daily activities. That is called meditation with open eyes. What is meditation with open eyes? From a very small and a trifle thing to the highest and the complicated job that you are doing, all the jobs can be done with single pointed concentration, which is nothing else but practicing the ultimate meditation that one is doing. Let us take an example. After we come home, we remove our clothes and the socks and the shoes, and where do we keep them? Or some of them may say, no, I keep my shoe in the shoe cupboard. All right, but are they in the straight line, or they're just pushed inside? habit of pushing inside is tamoguna, putting it properly is sattva-guna. With every act, you have to add up to the sattva-guna. The deposit in the spiritual bank is counted only in the currency of sattva-guna. And the highest depositor gets easy access to the safe deposit vault, which is the meditation. So in our daily activities, whatever we are doing, and we are doing only actions, activity is our life. We are taking our car out. One can take the car out in a calm manner, reverse it, turn it, and drive it peacefully. The one who changes the lanes here and there, one who gets agitated by a car which is not moving, one who is getting agitated by the traffic, again, sir, Rajoguna is at its peak. You're moving away from meditation. The clothes that you hang on the hanger, the shoes that you wear and the way you polish it, the way you sit in your place, and the way you perform your function. Do you remember what are the things that I'm expected to do today in the office? When you go to the office, you should be completely immersed into the office, not into any other activity. Look at us, what we are doing. When we are taking baths, we are thinking about the breakfast. When we are doing breakfast, we are thinking about the office. When we are in the office, we are thinking about the home. When we are in the home, we are thinking about the office. This is not the mind fit for meditation. So first start working on the mind to see that you know what the mind is doing. Ordering the mind to do the right thing is a next step. The first step is to observe the mind. Swami Vivekananda in meditation had spoken about this first step elaborately. Don't try to meddle with the mind, just observe it. Observing the mind itself is a meditation. What do you observe when you observe the mind? You observe that your mind is asking you to get up, go, eat, do this, do that, do that. But you're observing it. After observation only, it becomes possible to instruct the mind, not before observing. The one who is on the bank of the river can see the stream of the river and decide which course to take, not the one who is immersed in the water. So the steps for meditation start from our daily activities unless they are purified, refined. There are two aspects to our daily life. One is doing the routine chores or the functions that we are doing, and another is inculcating thoughts in the mind which has tremendous potential for disturbance. And those thoughts are called tamasic and rajasic thoughts. The anger, the greed, the jealousy, all these are going to compound the disturbances in the mind. So first is to refrain from criticizing anybody, refrain from doing any wrong thing, refrain from doing anything where the mind and yourself you will feel guilty, is the first step. Once less and less disturbing factors are there, then one needs to reduce his undue exposure. Upadvyap. Vyap everybody has. Upadvyap. Deliberately increase the activities. No need to send 10 WhatsApps every day. This is nothing else but dissipation of energy of mind. Do not do things which will not matter in spiritual studies or exercise. No need to take colored liquid in the glass and the bottle and keep sitting with it. It is self-cheating. People drink to drown the sorrow, but sorrow knows how to swim. Reducing the number of contacts that we have outside, because 9 out of our 10 contacts outside are useless in nature, and relations are included in this. When people start telling you that you are not participating in social activities, he has become a very lonely person, be sure you are on the right line as far as spiritual exercise is concerned. Gurudeva, when he went to Himalayas, he must have remembered his family, but how often he wrote to them? Because he knew my goal is different. That's why unless we start taking meditation in our daily life, take example of reading the scripture before the class. When we are reading, are we into it? Or we just come and start attending the class? Somebody will speak, I will listen. Again, tamoguna. Then we come to maybe a word in the shloka, natyuchrittam. How is this word has come? Na ati uchrittam. Oh, that means there is a sandhi there. You are using sattva guna. Every word of Gurudeva's commentary should be clearly read and understood with great reverence and with complete concentration. Concentration is in everything. Even if you are paring your nails, cutting your nails, you have to be very careful, and a very nice, smooth, rounded nail cutting. Every trifle job is an opportunity to concentrate or meditate. Then what is the difference between the meditation done by us and the higher souls? Our meditation is to clear the heaps of dirt that has piled up in our houses, spiritual house. While the meditation of the higher ups is to remove the samskaras of umpteen number of births, which is a far difficult thing to be achieved only at a higher level. So meditation done by an adept and meditation done by a novice or a person like us, there is a difference in it. So it be, because meditation is also karma. Upasana is karma. More the transactional or vyavaharika chitta shuddhi is there, more easier it becomes to go for the higher levels of meditation. So a person who is completely inattentive in his daily life, completely inattentive to a lot of things happening around him, completely subjugated by the mind, cannot expect to get into meditation simply because he has closed his eyes. Sitting at one place and closing the eyes is not meditation. Meditation is ability of oneself to focus on one thing at a time. We do not realize that we enjoy certain movies and serials simply because of concentration. It is the concentration that gives the happiness, not the film. The happiness comes from the concentration. Ekagrata has an essential byproduct called happiness. Only thing is, it doesn't last long because chanchalata is inbuilt into the subjects or the vishayas. That is why Shuchau deshe pratisthapya. Shuchau deshe pratisthapya means ashuchau deshe vihaya. What is ashuchau deshe? Not only the place of meditation has to be clean and pristine and pure and everything. That's also very, very important. But ashuchau deshe vihaya. I am sitting with my friends in a common place on a weekend, and then I want to go in one corner, I want to meditate. Ashuchau deshe. These people are not conducive for meditation. For that matter, Shivananda Maharaj says, reserve a room in your own house for meditation and let not people come inside it. Even your own household people. Because there is a word here, Sthiram asan atmanaha. Atmanaha means one's own. Atmanaha means one's own. In Madhusudan Saraswati's Maharaj's commentary, even the asana should not be shared with anybody else, because asanas also carry vasanas. That means the presence or absence or frequency of any person moving in and out at the area of meditation also can disturb the mind. Imagine the subtleties of the vibrations that can really affect you. Otherwise, everybody would have gone in samshan and did the meditation. No, the spirits, the vibrations have to be pristine and pure. And when the whole house and the whole family members are dipped into tamoguna, how do you expect the sattva guna and such a place to exist? So shucho means sattva guna bharita. And who all should be shucho? You yourself. The external aspect of sattva guna is seen in everything. Gurudeva's clothing, if you see, that itself, the way it was folded. Gurudeva's very first yajna in Pune, when there was no help available, he himself used to fold the leaflets into the envelope and put it into the post office. The envelopes were closed by him, but he was doing it with such a precision that one of the person attending at that point has commented that Gurudeva was so much involved in closing the envelope. Gandhiji was so much involved while taking bath that people used to watch him taking the bath. Now, what is there to watch anybody taking a bath? But that itself becomes a pristine process, provided the ekagrata is there. We do brushing every day. Never ever we think that brush and the teeth are in touch with each other. That is all a mechanical thing. We do things mechanically because we are not into the thing that we are doing. We are always somewhere else. If that itself is not first corrected, what concentration are we talking about? If we are repeating what we do on a daily life in our meditative phase by closing the eyes, there is no difference between our vyavharika vishwa and the adhyatmika vishwa. So, sucho deshe pratisthapya sthiram asanam, and sthiram asanam is sthiram sukhasanam, as described by Patanjali Maharaj. Asyate anena iti karane asanam. Us is to establish firmly. Now, how can you establish firmly when your body itself is suffering from so many diseases? And when I say diseases, does not mean the diseases that have manifested, but diseases that are lurking inside. You have got such a huge tummy. You have no control on your diet. You have no control on your daily routine. You do not exercise regularly. Shariram adyam khalu dharma sadhanam. If the body itself is having so, if I sit, the lower back and the knee joints, and what happens, sometimes I get this, sometimes there is a itching that is happening on the skin because the skin is not healthy. The physic is not good. If you read Gorakshanath, he has described meat ahari, eating very less, shwana nidra, sleeping like a dog. Afternoon also I sleep, night also I sleep. You know what? And again I feel sleepy. That is because, sir, tons of food has gone inside. How can you be a person who can think of meditation? A small and simple discipline to keep the body healthy. Vyasana mukta. What happens, I need that morning cup of coffee. Otherwise, I only on weekends, I don't drink regularly. And sometimes I smoke. Such body is completely unfit for meditation. Because you cannot be sthiram. And this all is described simply because it is expected according to Bhagavad Gita that meditation may last few hours. Our problem is even 10 minutes. Sitting only for the class itself, 10 times we change the position. So sthiram is, sukham asanam is also related to the physical condition or the aspect of the person who is doing it. That is why Shivananda Maharaj every day, all the disciples used to undergo yoga, including Gurudeva also did yoga. Then by selecting a place which is neither too high nor too low, And chaila, ajina, kusha. Chaila is, of course, chaila is a cloth. Ajina. Ajina is the skin covering of an animal which has got small piles of hair on it. Vyagrajina. Vyagra ajina. Vyagrajina. Mrugajina. These are the two common jina, ajinas, which are used, and the kusha grass to give little bit of a comfort, because if it is hard, why if it is hard? Because mostly the yogis are very lanky. They don't have too much fat on their body. So when you sit, the bones start pinching you. Mahatma Gandhi had this problem. He was so frail that whenever he used to sit always in a particular position, if you've seen his photograph, and his hip bone used to pain a lot because there was no fat there. So in such cases, this soft cushion thing helps the yogi in asana. So this is how he sits, sthiram, sukham, and with the vertebral column as erect as possible. Why? Because moment we bend, it affects the respiration. The lungs are working at their full capacity when you are sitting straight and erect, because there is a full capacity and the diaphragm can move properly. At the same time, because you are concentrating, as Gurudev has rightly pointed out, the physiological changes, the BP drops, these pulse rate drops. It is very surprising that the pulse rate can drop to as low as 40 per minute. It does. Because now the heart doesn't have to function rapidly. Why? There are no activities happening. The gastrointestinal system is at its rest because you are not eaten anything. The stomach is empty. You're not walking around, the muscles are not moving. So not much of an oxygen is required to the body. The whole body's metabolism is getting quietened. The heart is beating just to keep us afloat. Naturally, the breathing is also go down. With practice, the yogis normally breathe, their respiratory rate is 3 to 4 per minute. Medically, normal is about 12 per minute. And the way we breathe, we are close to about 14 to 15 times per minute. That is the difference in the physical fitness as well as the silence at the top. Once this is done, then the next shloka focuses about Tatra ekagra. Tatra means Tatra asane upavishya. We have to do a little bit of anvaya in this shloka. Tatra asane upavishya ekagra mana krutva. Krutva is tvandavya. Krutva, by doing, the action is not complete. When two actions are there in one statement and the first one is not complete, then we use this kind of tva pratyaya. Tatra asane upavishya ekagra mana krutva yat chitta indriya kriyaha. Yat means controlled. Yatatma, controlled. What? Chitta indriya kriya. Chitta indriya kriya means like the nose started because there is some smell coming. Indriya. Suddenly the sound came. I think it was a bangle sound. Most probably the wife went from here to there. Sir, you are gone. Indriya is working. Indriya is trying to perceive the things. If Indriyas are ready to perceive the objects outside, then how the mind will concentrate on anything? Yat chit. No, Indriya is working, sir. So I'm fit for meditation. Oh, the mind is taking the fancies and the flights. What do we do? Let the minds, because mind's flight cannot be controlled so easily. Indriyas can be, but mind's flight cannot be controlled so easily. So give a flight to the mind. That means give a subject to the mind. And remember one thing, it is subject, not subjects. Not multiple subjects, only one subject. Now that one subject could be what? Could be your Ishta Devata. Or I'm observing the mind. Just keep observing the mind. That could be also one subject. Or take Gurudeva. Focus on that. How Gurudeva must be sitting and meditating. Bring that form in front of you. Enough. Any subject in the world is okay as long as it is only one. ekam agre asit is ekagrata. Then yunjat yogam. Yunjat yogam atma vishuddhaye, for the cleanliness of the self. Now, when self itself is clean, why the words cleanliness for the self is used? Because we know that self means Atman. Atman is Shuddha, Saparegat, Shukram, Akayam, Avranam, Asnavaram, Shuddham, Apapavidham, Kavirmanishi, Paribhuhu, Swayambhuhu, Yatha Tatyato, Vyavadhan, Shashvatibhya, Samabhya. Long description of Atman is given in Ishavasya Upanishad. If it is Shuddham and Shukram, where is the purification? The reference is given to the undue encrustations of the Jiva called Upadhi. It is the Upadhi purification for which the meditation is used. So meditation is a process of cleaning the mind or the heart, Atma Shuddhi or Chitta Shuddhi, and such a Shuddhaman then is ready to fly upwards into the higher realms of consciousness, which is the refined aspect of meditation or upasana. Where will it end? It ends when there is no subject required to concentrate. Why? Because the concentrator and the object of concentration and the act of concentration. So meditator, thing to be meditated upon, and the meditation, when it becomes one, meditation is over, nothing is left. Hari Om.